Hey, I'm really glad you're here. Before we get into it, I want to say something. Today's reading is different. This isn't a reading about a situation. It's not, will he text back? And it's not, what's your next 30 days looking like? Today, the cards are going to talk about you, who you are, your energy, your nature, your path. I know readings like this can be a little uncomfortable because the cards sometimes call things exactly what they are. Sometimes they say the thing you've known for a long time but haven't let yourself say out loud. Sometimes they say something you'd rather not hear. I'm going to be honest with you, gentle but honest, because you deserve a real conversation, not a pretty performance. One thing before I start shuffling. If you found this video, you're probably not here by accident. Maybe you're going through something hard right now. Maybe you feel like you're standing on the edge of something big and you're not sure what. Or maybe you've just been wanting to look at yourself clearly for a while. No filters, no sugarcoating. Whatever brought you here, this reading is for you. Let's get into it. Your energy, who you actually are. The first thing I look at is the overall energy of the person, not events, not circumstances, the person themselves. What you came into this world with and what you've built since. Here's what I'm seeing. Card 1, core energy, the devil plus protection cards. The devil, I can already feel some of you tensing up. I get it, but let me say this right away. This card, in the context of personal energy, reads completely differently than most people expect. The devil as someone's core energy doesn't mean bad person or dark soul. It means power, enormous, raw, primal power, energy that doesn't ask for permission, that doesn't apologize for taking up space, that affects everything around it, just by existing. You are someone with very strong energy, and I don't mean that as a metaphor. People feel it when you walk into a room, some are drawn to you immediately, others get tense. There's almost no one who's just neutral about you. Here's what's really important to understand about this card in your reading. People go through something when they're around you, not because you're doing anything wrong or intentionally affecting anyone, but because your energy acts like a revealer, a mirror. People around you either open up and grow, or they retreat into their worst patterns. You involuntarily surface what people are hiding. That is a gift, an uncomfortable, sometimes heavy gift, but a gift. You are a test for the people in your life. For partners, for friends, even for your parents, not because you're difficult, but because your depth requires people to be real. Not everyone is ready for that. Now the protection. The cards show a very strong protective layer. Is that both something you were born with and something you've developed over time? Since you were young, you've been able to read people, literally feel them. Who to trust, who not to, who has good intentions, and who's smiling but something's off. That ability has protected you well. It still does. But that protection has a cost. You're selective. You don't let people in easily. And a lot of people read that as coldness, as arrogance, as she thinks she's better than everyone. What they don't understand is that what's behind it isn't pride. It's a finely tuned radar. You see through people, and you don't want to spend your time and energy on what isn't real. Card 2, the internal battle, dark and light. The next thing I'm seeing, and this is important, is that there's a constant battle happening inside you between two energies, dark and light. Don't let that scare you. Every person has both. The difference is that for most people, that battle is quiet, background noise. For you, it's intense, loud, felt. The dark side isn't something evil. It's your fears, your anger, your pain, the things you've carried for years. Everything you maybe didn't accept in yourself. The parts that felt wrong or too much, the version of you that you kept hidden. The light side is your wisdom, your capacity to love, your spirituality, your desire to help and create. And here's what the cards are saying. Right now, you are actively working through the dark side. You are looking at it, sitting with it. This is one of the most important and most painful processes a person can go through because integrating your darkness doesn't make you dark. It makes you whole. When someone accepts both sides of themselves, the internal tearing stops. They become calm, grounded, themselves. You are on that path right now. Your personality, what makes you, you. Now let's look at specifics. What the cards see in your personality. things you'll probably recognize in yourself. Card 3, intellect and wisdom. The Hierophant. The Hierophant. In the context of personality, this is the card of high intelligence and deep inner wisdom. You are smart, not just well-read or educated, though you probably are those things too. I mean, genuinely wise. You see the core of things. You connect dots that other people miss. You look past what's on the surface. The Hierophant is also the card of someone who transmits knowledge. That doesn't mean you're literally a teacher, but there's something in you that people pick up on. She knows something real. They come to you for advice, for support, for the feeling that you'll say something true. Not what's expected, not what's polite, but what's actually there. The Hierophant also points to a value system. You have a very clear internal sense of what's right and what isn't, what's yours and what isn't. That inner code isn't borrowed from society. It's something you earned through experience. Card 4, your creativity and aliveness. Real energy. The next thing I'm picking up on is the quality of what you create. When you do something, you put your whole self into it. Literally. It doesn't matter what it is, a conversation, a project, food you cook, a space you put together. It's felt. People feel it. There's life in what you make, and that's exactly what draws people to you. Not because you're trying to impress anyone, because you're real. That's rare, genuinely. Most people are running on autopilot and doing things because they have to, because that's what you do. You can't function that way. You need whatever you're doing to be alive and meaningful. Otherwise, you just can't. That sometimes makes life harder to compromise, harder to do good enough when you know what actually good feels like. But it's also your greatest strength. Card 5, intuition and spirituality, abilities opening up now. This is a really interesting one. The cards are showing something I want to speak to directly. You have strong intuition. You probably already know that. But right now, something more is happening. The cards are pointing to an opening, something waking up, the ability to sense and perceive things that other people simply don't. This can show up in different ways, premonitions that turn out to be accurate, feeling other people's emotions as if they were your own, understanding a situation before you have all the information, dreams that seem to show you things. If you've been noticing this, don't dismiss it and don't be afraid of it. It's not your imagination and it's not coincidence. It's a part of you that's coming to the surface right now. Trust it. Develop it if that calls to you. This could become a really significant part of your path in whatever form feels right for you. Where you are right now, the transition. This is where I want to slow down because what's happening with you right now deserves to be named clearly. No softening, no prettying it up. Card 6, the current period, the dark night of the soul. The cards are very clear. You are in one of the hardest periods of your life right now. I'm going to say that directly without cushioning it because I think you already know this. And maybe what you need is to hear that the cards see it too, that you're not exaggerating, that this is genuinely hard. Loss, ruptures, the feeling that the ground is shifting under you, maybe the feeling of losing yourself. Who am I? What do I actually want? What is any of this for? Questions like that in periods like this, that's not a sign that something is broken. That's a sign that you've outgrown the life you were living before. The depression, the emptiness, the wanting to shut down and not talk to anyone, those are all responses to a very deep internal process. You're not losing your mind, you're changing, and change always hurts. Here's what I want to say about this period. The darkest moment is behind you. The cards are showing this very clearly. You have already been through the hardest part, what you've survived. That took enormous strength, and you made it through. That's not a small thing. The light is already coming in. Maybe you can't fully see it yet. Maybe it still feels small and uncertain, but it's there, and it's going to keep growing. Card 7, what you need right now. Recovery. The cards are very specific about this. Right now, you need one thing. Recovery, not heroics, not breakthroughs, not pull yourself together and start making changes. Recovery, rest, slowing down. I understand that might be hard to hear if there's anxiety running underneath all of this. I need to be doing something. Time is passing. I'm falling behind. But the cards are direct. No sudden moves right now. That's not laziness and it's not weakness. It's wisdom. A tree recovering from a storm doesn't immediately start growing again. It strengthens its roots first. What does that actually look like? More sleep if your body is asking for it. Fewer obligations if you have any room to pare back. More quiet. More of what genuinely restores you, but not what should restore you, but what actually does. Less time with people who drain you. More space that belongs to you. This is a season for being very gentle with yourself. The way you'd treat something valuable that's been damaged and needs care. That's you right now, valuable, and in need of care. Your love life. What's happening with relationships? Let's look at your personal life now, the people who are or want to be around you. Card 8, the one who wants in. The cards are showing someone, most likely a man, who very much wants to enter your life, or is already trying to. Actively. He's knocking, maybe literally, texting, calling, showing up. Maybe through mutual people, maybe he's just occupying a lot of mental space, even though you can't quite explain why he's there. Here's what matters. Your intuition in this situation is working correctly. Those moments when you pulled back at the last second, when you said no right before you were about to say yes, that wasn't fear and it wasn't self-sabotage. That was your instincts protecting you, that protection we talked about earlier. This is exactly where it shows up. Don't second guess that feeling. Don't let anyone convince you that you're too suspicious or too guarded or asking for too much. You know what you know. Trust it. Card 9. New connection or a return. 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups. This is the card of meeting, of mutual recognition. I see you. You see me. The cards are showing 2 possibilities and both are real. The first is something new beginning, someone who could come into your life where there's genuine mutuality, not a one-sided dynamic where you're carrying everything, not the feeling of giving and giving while the other person takes. 2 people who actually see and choose each other. The second is a return, an old connection that wasn't fully closed, someone from your past showing up again, and the question won't be, did he come back? It'll be, do I actually want this? The 2 of Cups isn't just romance. It's the card of real connection. And the cards are saying you deserve that. Not someone who wants to use you or manage you, someone who genuinely sees you and stays. Card 10, how someone who loves you sees you. The Star. The Star. This card showed up in the position of how someone who is, or once was, in love with you perceives you. The star is a dream, an ideal, something people reach toward. For someone in your life, you are literally that. Not in the untouchable ideal sense, but in the sense of, I cannot let go of her, even when I'm angry at her, even when we're not together, even after a lot of time has passed. She comes back to me, she shows up in my dreams. Every person I meet, I'm comparing them to her without meaning to. This person probably doesn't fully understand why. It just doesn't let up. They get frustrated with themselves about it. And still, it doesn't let up. You know who I'm talking about, don't you? Your future, what's ahead. We've made it to the future portion, and here the cards are speaking beautifully, specifically, very positively, but not in the everything will be fine without any effort from you way. In the you've already done the hardest part, and now a completely different season is opening way. Card 11. The near future, the Empress period, the Empress. After everything we've seen in this reading, this card showing up in the future position means a lot. The Empress is prosperity, abundance, manifestation. This is the card where what you've been planting starts to bloom. What you've been dreaming about starts showing up in your actual life. And the thing that's different, it happens with a kind of ease you're not used to, not through grinding and resistance, but with this new understanding of, oh, so this is how it works. What could this look like in your life specifically? The cards are pointing in a few directions. Material stability, something that may have been missing for a long time. Your own space, your own home, a place that's genuinely yours, possibly a child, if that's something you want. Being recognized for work that actually matters to you, relationships that feed you instead of drain you. The Empress is also the card of the body and pleasure. After a long season of struggle, you will finally be able to just live Enjoy things. Be present in your body, in your life, in your own time. This is ahead of you. It's real. It's waiting. Card 12, finding yourself. Inner freedom. The next card is pointing at something that might be more important than everything else. You are going to find yourself again, not a new version of yourself, not a fixed version. Yourself, the real one, without the masks, without the armor you had to put on, that lightness you had as a kid when you were just yourself without looking around to see if that was okay. That inner freedom that's so hard to hold on to when life keeps hitting. The cards are saying you will get that back through this period. Not around it, through it. Because this pain, this confrontation with your own darkness, this separation from everything that wasn't yours, all of it is making you more yourself, not less. After this period, you will know yourself differently, more deeply, more honestly, and that knowing doesn't go away. Card 13, dreams and manifestation. It's all possible. This is one of the most beautiful things in your whole reading. The cards are saying your dreams are going to start coming true, and more easily than you've ever believed they could. You're probably used to working really hard for everything, used to wanting something being one thing and actually getting it being a whole other thing with a long, difficult road in between. That pattern is shifting. After the recovery period, something inside you is going to click, not intellectually, in your body, in your gut, an understanding of how to create what you want. Not through force, but through state of being. Not through I have to, but through I want to. That's not magic. That's the result of the inner work you're doing right now. When someone becomes whole, their intentions manifest differently. Faster, more cleanly, more accurately. Your circle, enemies, gossip, and who's really for you. This section matters, and I want to be straight with you about it. Card 14, people who don't wish you well. Envy and gossip. The cards are showing that there are people in your life who don't have good intentions toward you. Maybe that's obvious to you. Maybe you felt it without being sure. There are people who are jealous, not because you did anything to them, just because of who you are. Your strength, your ability to create, your magnetism, that generates a reaction. Not always a kind one. There are people who smiled at your face and said or did something different behind your back. Finding that out hurts. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. But here's something really interesting the cards are saying about these people. Their actions, the gossip, the envy, the quiet harm are not actually hurting you. They're helping you. That sounds strange, but it's true, and I'll explain it. When envious energy is directed at someone, it tends to return to the person sending it amplified. And to you, and oddly enough, but it functions almost like fuel. It's an energetic law that a lot of people have noticed in their own lives. So if you know people are talking badly about you, don't spend energy on it. It's working in your favor, not against you. Card 15, the unmasking. Who's actually in your corner? Here's the next piece, and it's important. In the coming period, faces are going to become clearer. People who were around but not quite in good faith will either leave on their own or reveal themselves so unmistakably that there won't be any room for doubt. That can be painful. Finding out that someone you trusted wasn't who they seemed to be, that always lands hard. But the cards are saying this is necessary to step into the next phase of your life. The Empress season we talked about. You need the people around you to be real. People who are genuinely in your corner, not people who are performing it. Let them go. Let them show themselves. This is your space getting cleared out. After it, only what's real remains. Card 16, the man from your past. One more thing about the people in your life. There's a man from your past, someone who left, or someone you left. And the cards are very clear about this. He will regret it, or he already does. Not as a serves him right thing, but because he's realized or will realize what he lost. Something rare, something he won't find again. Not like that, not with you. What you do with that is entirely your call. The cards aren't saying go back or don't go back. They're just naming what's true. What was between you is real, and he knows it. The main message, what the cards want you to hear. We've made it to the end. And before I close this reading, I want to pull everything we've seen together into one message, what the cards are actually saying to you today. Final card, the message of the reading. You have been through a very dark, very heavy period, and you made it through. That is not a small thing. That is enormous. Not everyone who goes through what you've gone through comes out still themselves, still open, still searching, still feeling things, still alive in the real sense of the word. You did. Right now is the season of recovery, not fighting, not achieving, not proving anything to anyone. Just recovery. Give yourself permission to do that without guilt, without I should be doing more. Just let yourself be. What's ahead of you is something you've earned, not in the sense of you worked hard enough to deserve it, but in the sense that it fits you. It belongs to you. Prosperity, abundance, ease, real relationships, doing work that actually means something, that's yours. That's who this is for. Your intuition is your greatest protection. It has not steered you wrong. Keep trusting it, especially when someone tries to convince you that you're feeling things wrong or wanting too much. You're feeling it right. You know what you know. And the last thing, everything you dream about, it's possible. Not someday maybe, not if things work out. It is already on its way to you. Just give yourself time to recover first and then go toward it. You've got this. You're already doing it. That's everything for today. This was not a light reading, and I'm glad we went through it together. It asked for honesty from the cards, and I hope from you too. If something in this hit you in a good way or a hard way, tell me in the comments. I read every single one, and I genuinely want to know what landed. Take care of yourself. I mean it. Actually take care of yourself. You are valuable, and somewhere in you, you already know that. See you next time.